Certain dates echo throughout history. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021.
This is a complete insanity. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021. That's insane.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. If you are, I'm glad to hear it. If you aren't, I hope tomorrow will be better for you. If you're watching this video on YouTube and you notice there's a red subscribe button down below the video and it's red still, it means you haven't subscribed. Pushing hard since 40% of you viewers are not subscribed. I know you might have to create an account, which is a total pain, but I would greatly appreciate it. I would love to have you actually be able to find my videos, which is nearly impossible with, well, the topics that I cover. So I appreciate you. Now, Joe Rogan is at it again, this time absolutely devastating Kamala Harris for her ridiculous comparison of the events that happened at the Capitol last year, comparing it to Pearl Harbor and other horrible historic events in this country. It's insulting to me, and this is part of the reason why Joe is so popular. It's because he says what a lot of us are thinking, even if, you know, again, it's not even a political thing. It's like, I don't care if you're a liberal or a conservative. I think we can all agree that the events of January at the Capitol are nowhere near Pearl Harbor or September the 11th. Before we get into Joe absolutely destroying this take, quick word from this video's sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, friend of the channel and author, Nathan Thompson's new book, Woad Children. That's right, I'm bringing you a book, something for your minds. Woad Children is the third book in his Portal Fantasy series, Challenger's Call. The series follows the hero from downfall and rise as he battles through blood and snow to prevent another world's apocalypse and to discover more about the conspiracy that tried to take his brain and body away from him in the first place. On top of that, this is the first audiobook of the series that's strictly available on Audiobook Guild. Audiobook Guild is a store dedicated to producing books for men, meaning it sells fun and or uplifting stories with men in mind. And most of these stories feature duet narration by fantastic male and female voice actors. If you're looking for affordably priced books that actually value you as a customer, try Audiobook Guild. Check out Challenger's Call, the series, and if you have already started, the new book, Woad Children, is out. Use the link in the description below to support the channel, support one of your fellow viewers, and get an entertaining book. Now, here is the clip. Watch, Joe Rogan rips Kamala Harris for comparing January 6th to Pearl Harbor and 9/11. Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind us all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under attack, Harris said while speaking at the Capitol at the first anniversary. This is such a performative, just ridiculous thing. Dates that occupy not only a spot on our calendars, but a place in our heart. Pearl Harbor, September 11th, and January 6th. Full stop. This is probably one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard. I have ever heard. I want Kamala Harris to go to the families of people that had to leap from the towers and tell them that she thinks what happened at the Capitol is the same thing. When we lost 3,000 people that day, 2,400 people at Pearl Harbor, and 0 people, well, except for Ashley. I think some other people had like heart attacks or something like that. The only person we lost that day was a patriot who probably got a little too caught up in the and the adrenaline, and had some cop suddenly the left loves police, some cop end her because he got an itchy trigger finger. Duty to retreat, right? Isn't that what the left wants the PD to do in all these situations? Let them burn the city down. Why not take a step back? Anyway, that's a topic for a different video. Joe Rogan saying, this is complete insanity. Look, January the 6th was embarrassing. It was pathetic. It was confusing to me because there are parts of it that confused me. The parts where you have these clear agent provocateurs in the audience calling for people to go into the building, the podcast host and UFC commentator said on the Joe Rogan Experience. There's video of cops opening up barriers. What is that? Why did they do that? Has there ever been an explanation of that? No, and there never will be. I believe I think the FBI just testified and refused to deny that they had any kind of involvement in that day, but that's for a different story and a different platform, probably. We really haven't seen 10,000 hours of footage, which is held under lock and key, his guest Adam Curry said. That's insane, the podcast host said in summation of Harris's statement. Separately, Representative Jim Jordan, an Ohio Republican, also slammed Harris for her remarks. The most absurd part of the day was what you referenced in your monologue, where the Vice President of the United States says that January the 6th was equivalent to Pearl Harbor, was equivalent to September the 11th. He said, tell that to the granddaughter whose grandfather gave his life on D-Day. Tell that to the son whose dad was one of the firefighters who went into the towers. The vice president should try to explain her thinking to Max Soviak's family, Jordan said. Soviak 22 is one of the 13 service members who didn't come back from Kabul. Or frankly, tell it to Max's family. Max Soviak, one of the 13 people. Oh, we went on to that. I mean, I don't understand, why. I guess, I don't think that I have many viewers that are like this, but it's clear that there are a lot of people in the country like this, where they're like, well, the guy I voted for, the person I voted for, I also must agree with everything they say and do. This is toxic. This is low IQ. This is bad. But I have good news for you. If you know somebody in your life like this, you can fix this. Look, I don't agree with everything Trump did. I don't agree with everything Obama did. In fact, there's probably more I disagree with that they did than I agree with it. Can't say I agree with much of what Joe Biden's doing either. Okay? This blind loyalty is what gets this weird cult where people think that this event at the Capitol was anything more than a protest, that it was any different than the Summer of Peace. How about that? What happened on that day was bad. But essentially, in my opinion, what you had was a group of people that were riled up and got a little too, you had like a mob mentality, basically. And you had a small percentage of the people that were there do something dumb, and some people lost their lives. None of the police officers, nobody, you know what I mean? It wasn't like this was an attack, as Nancy Pelosi calls it. I mean, how many people didn't survive the Summer of Love? You could see, I talk about the quote, then via louder with Crowder. Harris actually said these words, comparing a riot, small by even modern standards, when compared to the Summer of Love, to two dates in which thousands of Americans perished. I'd call that delusional, and Joe Rogan agrees. Quote, this is complete insanity. I already read that quote. It's insane. Can we all agree that the left is completely insane? Kamala Harris's laugh should have given away that instantly, but there are probably a few people that were hoping against hope that this country hadn't elected an old senile man and a psychopath to lead the executive branch. But that's exactly what happened, and that's where we are. Look, I don't care for Joe Biden, but I have plenty of friends and family that voted for him, and it's not a big deal in my life. I hope that we get a better leader in 2024, first in the midterms, and then in 2024. But I don't think that this level of rhetoric is productive. I don't think that it shows any respect for Americans that lost their lives. Why is that account blocked? I don't even know who that is. That's weird. Why are they blocked? Oh, I know why. They're probably harassing my feed. Anyway. I mean, is this where we're at? We're going to allow, like, camera, one guy. Like, I don't have enough information to make a declaration of what happened on that day. But what I do know is that comparing it to those other 2 days is appalling. I didn't have any in my family that directly lost their life on that day, but I did have lots of friends that did, because you know what happened the day after? They went and enlisted, and then they didn't come back from the desert. I have friends now that aren't the same. You're trying to say that what happened on at the Capitol, sparked a 20-year war that we lost? This does nobody any good. And it's absolute lunacy. And I'm glad Joe Rogan called it out. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.